Hi, my name's Bekah. Welcome to my video series, Everyday English, Every Day. Here we have authentic conversations with real people. You need to spend at least 10 minutes a day practicing English, so be consistent with your learning. Today we're talking about cover letters. Cover letters can accompany a resume or CV when you're looking for a job. We're going to listen to a conversation I had with my friend Nick from Hone It. We're going to talk about when you should write a cover letter. And for a little more, we're going to talk about why now is the time to make a career change. Okay, so Nick helped create and develop this company, this program, Hone It. Hone It is a cloud-based interview technology that makes it easy to schedule interviews, search interview questions, and share interview highlights. Hone It turns phone interviews into powerful talent intelligence. Now, Nick has a lot of experience as a recruiter looking for people to work at different companies in different positions. So I decided to talk with him a little about cover letters. Now, during our conversation, I want you to pick out these phrases. Okay, so listen for these phrases. Repeat after me so we can practice them first. To apply to a company, do a little research, recognize that effort, go above and beyond, a great background, want to stand out, anything that is not obvious. Okay, now listen to our conversation and pick out these phrases. Listen for them.
So, and in that case, there's this kind of approach in terms of job search. It's like, do you apply to 100 companies, right? Or do you spend time, do a little research and apply to 10 companies, but maybe write 10 cover letters, right? And I think recruiters will recognize that effort. They'll see that you go above and beyond the other 800 applicants they get or other 100 applicants they get for that role. Some people would argue, is a cover letter necessary? It's not necessary. If you've got a great background, you've worked at great companies, you've done this job 5 times, you might not need a cover letter because someone's going to see that on your resume. If you haven't quite done this job or haven't worked in this particular industry before, or you're looking to go from marketing director for coordinator to marketer or for coordinator to manager, you might need to give a little something to explain why you think you're ready or why you think this company or this job is the right one for you, because it may not be obvious from just your resume.
Okay, so our background is like our experience. So if we want to talk about our background, we could talk about our education or maybe our job experience. Now, when somebody recognizes your effort, they realize that you did something special, right? That you worked hard and they recognize it, meaning that they understand that you worked hard.
Okay, so I think not to go too far into cover letters, but that's a frequent question we get from job seekers is like, do you need to do one? Well, do you think you need to do one for this particular role? Right?
What do you want them to know about you? If you want to stand out, that's the way to do it, right? I mean, if you want to stand out, a cover letter is the way to share that special information about yourself.
If I look at a resume and I look at a job description and I say, gosh, this is missing or this is missing, we'll quickly see that. So be proactive and get in front of that thing.
If something is missing on your CV or resume, you can add that information in your cover letter. Remember, if something's missing, that means you don't have it.
Right. I don't live in New York City, but I have an aunt and uncle who live there, and they said I could stay with them for 3 months until I get my feet on the ground. Okay, now I'm less worried about is this person really able to move to New York City for a new job?
Okay, so even information like that in the cover letter could be helpful in certain situations.
I would say anything where there's kind of not a one-to-one, because again, recruiters are busy. They might spend 15 seconds looking at your resume. It's like,
right.
not in New York, hasn't worked.
Oh, he's in Florida. Why is he going to come to New York, right?
Too many variables, not worth our, unfortunately, it's like too many variables, not enough time. Let's look and see what else we got. So it could be judgments that really happen that quick. And again, it's not robots that are doing this, it's people. And so kind of, you got to put yourself in the mind of someone else, whose job's on the line. So again, there's a lot we're talking about here, but I think, if there's anything that's not obvious, that's a perfect example of a cover letter.
Okay, so when something is not obvious, you can't see it easily. So you need to share that extra information with your hopefully future employer in a cover letter. Okay, so Nick even talked about, if you're looking for a job in a different place, you should let them know how ready you are to move to this place. He gave the example of someone having family in New York and saying in their cover letter, I have an aunt and uncle in New York. I can live with them in the beginning while I get situated, while I, figure out everything in the city. So then Nick says, oh, okay, this person can actually come to this job, can actually live here, right? Recruiters make decisions quickly, right? They have a lot of applicants. He said they may only spend 15 seconds looking at something. So you need to make sure you can show why you are best for the job. All right, so when you go above and beyond, this means you do more or better than would usually be expected. Going above and beyond means you're doing extra. Cover letters can show recruiters that you go above and beyond the other applicants they get. Okay, so writing a cover letter can be that little extra. Give a little something. So you want to give a little something in your cover letter to maybe explain why you're ready for the job or to show why this job and company are right for you. In your cover letters, you want to show what is missing in your resume or in your CV, right? On your resume or on your CV. See? Even native speakers sometimes use the wrong words. So you want to show them what is missing on your resume in the cover letter. All right, so Nick also says you should be proactive and get in front of that. So when you're proactive, you make things happen instead of waiting for them to happen to you. Okay, so writing a cover letter and explaining things is a way to be proactive. When you apply to a company, you need to do some research. You need to find out information about them. You need to look them up on the internet. And you write a cover letter to help yourself stand out. So remember, when something stands out, it's easily seen, right? It shows, right? It helps you focus your attention to that thing. To make the word stand out, I made it in capital letters and underlined it and changed the color. Now it stands out. Okay, let's listen to the second part of my talk with Nick and repeat after me these phrases. These are the ones I want you to focus on this time. Going to meetups. My minor in college is transition into technology. Demonstrate you put in the time and effort. Okay, now we're going to listen to our conversation. Remember, you need to pick out these phrases from the conversation.
Like I've worked in for the pharmaceutical industry, and now I want to become a marketing. I'm a marketing director in pharma, and now I want to become a marketing director in the entertainment world. Well, you know, I've not done anything in the entertainment, but let me tell you this. I've been going to the entertainment meetups for the last 3.5 years. I've been writing a screenplay, and my minor in college was film.
Okay, so then you got
And
some.
now I'm like, okay, like this person's been going above and beyond in their spare time to like follow this space and has
To
shown.
transition into something else, right?
Yeah.
They're showing.
Many times we see people that want to transition into technology or become a developer or a software engineer, but they're a marketing coordinator by day. Well, how do you do that? Well, you take classes in the evening and you teach yourself to code, or you go to a 12-week boot camp and learn JavaScript, but it takes you to show and demonstrate that you've put in the time and effort to make a transition. And
Right.
I think that's what an employer wants to know is like, we don't want to take the risk of, yeah, you say you can do this for us. We want to see what you've done to demonstrate that you have the commitment and the willingness and the ability to
Okay,
learn.
good.
So,
And that's the example you just used. It's interesting because I have a lot of students that want to do that, right? So that's a really great example, of getting into coding, but they're like, I don't know what to do. I want to.
It's never been easier to learn some of these skills without going
on the side, right? Like in certifications or
even free. If you go to, there's things like MIT courseware, open courseware. MIT, has basically opened up all of their classes, all of the materials, all of their lectures, all of their notes. If you wanted to get a bachelor's degree in mathematics from MIT, you wouldn't get the diploma, but you can learn all of that knowledge if you wanted to.
It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty wild, and then I think.
Okay, so let's look at the verb is. Now, is the present tense. What's the past tense of that verb? Do you remember? Nick said, my minor in college was. So when we use was, we're talking about the past, and is talking about the present. Okay, let's look at some of the vocabulary a little more. Going to meetups. A meetup is an informal meeting or gathering. You could tell a recruiter or maybe a company where you're applying, I have been going to the entertainment meetups for the last 3.5 years. Now, that means you're probably going to maybe some kind of conference, right? Something that's happening in the entertainment world, right? I could also use it as a verb, right? It's a phrasal verb. I can say, let's meet up at the beach, right? It means like, let's get together at the beach. All right, so transition into technology. When we talk about transitioning into something else, we're talking about making a career change. So now you can take classes in the evening. You can teach yourself. You can go to a 12-week boot camp. Okay, when you go to a boot camp, you're learning. It's like a program, right? Like a class, an intense class to learn something in a short amount of time. So studying at a college or a university, right? In the video, we talked about minoring, right? He said, my minor in college was film. So a minor is a secondary focus of study. A major is the primary focus of study. When I went to the university, I had a double major. I had 2 majors. One of my majors was Spanish. The other major was environmental studies. Now, some people have a major and a minor, or some people have a double major. Now, when we talk about colleges and universities, in the United States, they're used interchangeably. Universities are larger institutions and they have graduate and doctorate programs. Colleges only offer undergraduate degrees or associate degrees. Okay, for a little more, let's talk about why now is the time to make a career change. Nick says now is the time because it's never been easier, right? You can get a lot of skills. You can learn some of these skills without actually going to college. You wouldn't get the diploma, but you could learn all that knowledge, right? So a lot of universities are opening up their courses and offering them free online. Now, at the end, when we're talking about this, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty wild. Those are our reactions to this idea, right? That you could study at a place like MIT online and get all of that information for free. Right? Remember, you're not getting the diploma, but you still have the knowledge. And nowadays, that's what's really important. All right, guys, if you like my video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. New videos are posted on Mondays, and comment below. And also, ask me any questions you have. You can get in touch with me here, and I hope to see you soon. Keep up the good work. Keep practicing. Practice the phrases in this video. Make up your own sentences using them, and share them in the comments below. Bye-bye.